Alright guys, this is a video review for my 1991 Audi Coupe Quattro 20 valve. 88,000 miles, all-wheel drive through the Audi original Quattro system with the Torsen center differential. Very good in the snow and also just as good in drier weather. There's the diff lock right there. I bought the car a little over a year ago and actually got it from Minnesota. It's now located in Connecticut. It had roughly 70,000 miles when I got it. Since then, it's been daily driven, well cared for, well maintained. Pretty much the only modification is a resonator delete, which you can hear right now probably. It has received oil changes every 2,000 miles. Frequently, I check the oil about every 2 weeks, frequently top it off. Recently received a new radiator. It's already had the timing belt done. It's pretty much fully loaded. You can tell by actually the pearl white paint you can see here. That was an original option, believe it or not. As well as the heated seats for both the driver and the passenger, you can see there. And the 8-way adjustable, 8-way adjustable power seats for both the driver and the passenger. It also has the cold weather package, which includes the heated seats, which also has heated windshield wiper fluid nozzles, as well as in front of the headlights here. The car has received a European headlight swap from the previous owner, which actually gives the standard Audi no bombs code, which you can see here. Which you could just hit this button here, turn it off. But as you can see, despite the light, the headlights are indeed working. OEM wheels, the speed lines that came on the car when it first was sold, in very good condition. Almost no curbing all the way around, except on the back left where there's a little bit right here. I'm not sure if you can see that. That's the fan kicking on, by the way. Powered by the 7A, Audi's 20 valve inline 5 that was sold in 1991, as well as 1990, but it has, since the 1990 version of the Coupe Quattro, received a new block, as well as some extra new internals. I'll show you the engine here. The yellow is just wax from when the car was originally sold that I haven't scrubbed off yet. Other things that separate the 1990 Quattro from the 91 are the sunroof and some minor cosmetic improvements all the way around. So that's about the end. One last thing. There's the window defroster, which I don't know if you can see in the light here. Shows the Quattro logo. And a very spacious trunk, as well as another part of the cold weather package, which includes a ski bypass in the back seats. Not sure why that's duct taped shut, but it does actually open up. I have used it for my snowboard. And now, I think that's the end of part one of the review, and I will now give you a quick little drive so you can hear the exhaust note. 88,000 miles, you can see there. Very comfortable, very luxurious. Just pop this under the headrest here. Okay. I'll try and avoid talking through the rest of this because you're definitely going to want to hear the exhaust note of the car, as it's what I consider to be the best feature of the inline 5 that was originally sold by Audi, aside from its bulletproof quality. Power and torque at around 6,000 with the 7,000 RPM breath line. Close the windows up here so maybe you can hear it a little better. The intake is actually It actually sounds a little bit like a blow-off valve once you lift off, as it sucks air back in. The car handles surprisingly well, considering that it's originally made as a luxury touring car. It's been driven very mildly, at least under my ownership. I've only driven the car hard at one high-performance driver's ed. Other than that, it's just daily driving, highway driving, to and from school. Alright, I'm going to wait at the stoplight here, and then we'll go for a nice little drive down main road. The car is in very good working condition. The only major things to note is that currently the handbrake is not working. That's because the cable snapped, which obviously that's a minor issue. I could do that myself, or if you would prefer to as the buyer, then that's up to you. I will do it on request, of course. Still red light here. The only other thing to note is that the air conditioning, I'm not sure if you can see it here, it does blow, as you can hear right now, hopefully. Yep, there it is. It does blow, it just does not blow cold. It'll hold the charge if you recharge it for about a day, and then it goes warm again. So I'll get on the gas a bit here. Not particularly fast, considering that it's the naturally aspirated variant of the 7A, since they only got the turbocharged version in the coupe known as the S2 overseas. But it definitely makes a good noise, has more than sufficient power for the car, which weighs 3,300 pounds, give or take, depending on the driver. And it's overall a very pleasant car to drive. As you can see, there's no drone, really. Got some nice VDO gauges down here, as standard. Came with the car. Very little drone. At highway speeds, it's a little bit more noticeable. Right now we're doing about 2,800 RPM highway speeds. In fifth gear, you'll be doing a little bit closer to 3,500, in which case you will notice a little bit of drone. It's not horrible, but it is noticeable. Brakes have recently received newer high metallic pads, which is why you'll hear the squeaking. Rotors were not replaced at the same time, but only have, I think it's 3,000 miles on them, and they're still fresh. No issue with the rotors. Checked them out when we took off the wheels and put on the calipers. They're in perfect condition. Well, slightly used condition, but good condition. Get back on it a little bit here. Power is definitely noticeable a lot more at around 3,500 through 6 rather than low range that you'll get with other engines, which is fine. It's a lot more fun to drive that way. Other things to note, this is not only one of the lowest mileage coupes left, and I can confirm that. If you were to, feel free to take a look at AudiFans.com, AudiZine, and you will definitely struggle to find another Coupe Quattro that has this kind of mileage, this kind of maintenance done to it, and this kind of condition. The car also looks very, very good looking, as you may have noticed from the pictures and the original ad. It tends to turn heads pretty much everywhere you go, so not a car for you if you prefer to remain inconspicuous. I've had numerous people come up to me in traffic to ask questions about the paint job. A couple people actually have even asked to take pictures with the car alongside theirs. That included a Golf R, GTIs, a couple cars here and there. At car shows, even for muscle cars, it will draw some attention. Some green light here. Not exactly sure off the top of my head how many miles are on this clutch. I'll get back to you on that in the actual ad for the car online, but it feels fine. It does not need any sort of replacement. The gauge is nice and low. Just go for a nice cruise here. Drop down to here. Nice little twisty section here. The car has a large amount of body roll, which gives it that nice, comfortable, touring ride quality, but at the same time, it's very forgiving when you get to a corner. The car actually handles extremely well. Avoided the bird there. That's right, saving lives in the middle of a car review. Overall, it's a very pleasant car to drive, like I said previously. Revs well. Probably due to its touring quality, the pedals are not exactly ideal for a heel toe setup. I'm not really sure how often anyone would need to do that, but if you would like to, it's definitely possible. It's just a little bit more difficult. Take one more road here. Get on it a little bit. Definitely not the fastest car, but it makes a great noise, and it's definitely more than sufficient in terms of power. Also, if you choose to, this car is probably the best snow car I have ever driven in my entire life. The Audi Quattro system, similar to that in the Quattro that everyone knew from its rally days, is pretty much unstoppable in bad weather and bad conditions. Pull off here. Unstoppable in bad weather and bad conditions. And if you do manage to get stuck, you do have the center locking differential, which will pull you out of pretty much anything. So, I guess I'm going to conclude the video review right about here. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to message me with any sort of questions, offers, pretty much anything. Thanks.